Here we go on our hike to where?
The Hoover Dam, actually.
No, actually.
It's not the Hoover Dam. It's the Hot Springs.
I was just for the springs.
We're at GoldStrike Hot Springs trailhead.
Which is right by the Hoover Dam.
Correct.
So,
I don't know if we'll see the Hoover Dam from here though, but we're pretty well stocked and packed. My backpack, that backpack, this backpack, stop it, don't take that. We got plenty of water. One of the things on all the reviews that everyone said was make sure you have more water than you think and wear good shoes because we're actually going to be scrambling up some boulders. So this is considered a moderate to hard hike. We'll let you know how it goes.
yeah, we will.
So after about an hour, maybe 45 minutes of a hike, there was not a lot of shade until you start getting into the more cavernous, narrow features here. You get to your very first rope. So watch and see what these are like. This is our first time. So this is why it's considered moderate to hard. So rope number 1 here was probably one of the longer ones up and down, if I remember right. This is why they say have good shoes. It is really slick and slippery. And of course, as you get to the bottom, closer to the Colorado River, you're going to have very wet feet coming back up. So having good shoes, good quality grip. So it was a lot of fun. It was really scary at first. It feels so much higher and steeper than it actually looks on the video, but trust me, it was a little startling at first. And again, this is why it was moderate to hard. A lot of bouldering, just climbing over stuff like this. This is the actual trail. In other words, I'm saying we didn't get lost and way off of the trail. I correct myself. This was the longest rope, and there were 9 of them. So yes, there were 9 roped areas to be able to get up and down to get ourselves into the canyon. This is where we ended up stopping, where the hot spring actually is, and just enjoyed a rest. This took about 2 hours or so to get down to here. If you keep walking forward there, you'll see the Colorado River and run right into it. This water was anywhere from warm to steaming hot, and it felt so great after a long, tedious hike, let me tell you. Most people do this hike for the hot springs, obviously, so plan accordingly. Bathing suits, towels, and be able to change. You don't want to hike back up all wet. We are in the last leg.
Last leg.
We can see the car parking lot and the car from here. I would say rappelling down the boulders was easier coming up, which I just said that really weirdly. Where the ropes are, I felt like it was easier coming up than going down. But this nice little steady incline, there's the boy up there. Like, it's killing me right now. And this crazy ass cat litter dirt we're walking in.
Yeah, that was difficult walking in the cat litter trail.
But I would definitely.
Rocks, but not cat litter, really.
This was a really
hard
challenging trail. Like really fun.
Wear gloves.
Yeah.
Expect to get your knees
scratched up. We got some blood.
So bring Bactine
and
alcohol swabs.
On both of his legs. I don't know if I captured that.
Ready. Prepared with water.
Yes, a lot more water than you think.
Yeah.
We started this at 10-ish, and it is what time now?
2:35.
2:35, and we stayed about an hour down. We didn't go all the way to the Colorado River. I believe it was only really like a couple more minutes down, but we were done, and we sat in the hot springs.
There's a waterfall.
Took a nice waterfall, shower, and that was far enough. But let me put this away so we can climb this hill and get in the cool car.
As far as ratings, I give this a hard,
yes.
But definitely a 10 out of a 10. It's a thumbs up.
Really challenging but rewarding trail.
Yeah.
So maybe not for beginners, but maybe it could be. Challenge yourself if you really want to, that fast.
It's a challenge.
Whew, but we'll come back in a little bit when we cool down and share any of the other parts that maybe we wanted to express. Okay, see you.
See you.
So we are done, almost home, about to dip in the pool after that long hike. The hike was GoldStrike Hot Springs. Did you see any gold?
You saw a rock you thought was gold.
Yeah, actually I saw something that looked like it had some gold in it. we had said on the hike to the car that it was definitely a 10 out of 10, but it is hard.
It is a hard.
It is a hard hike. You had just said a second ago that this was...
Compared to the hikes that I've been on, this is probably number 3. Because number 1 would be Pikes Peak. That was,
of difficulty, that's
of
what
difficulty,
we mean.
Yeah. Pikes Peak was difficult.
That's also 14,000 plus feet.
The first was Pikes Peak. The second was the Manitou Incline. That was a
Oh, yeah, I guess you could call that a hike. Oh, sorry, hold on.
So yeah, the Manitou Incline was definitely the second.
And we did have, we'll look on your all trails actually, to see the actual elevation. According to reviews, like on Google reviews and stuff of the hike and of the trail, they said it was 1,000-foot elevation gain both ways, which I don't think it was both ways. You go straight into the canyon and then you come up out of the canyon. So I don't.
Well, you're constantly going down. The biggest elevation part was at very beginning.
Yeah, we didn't realize that.
Declining very fast in the beginning, at the beginning of the trail, and you won't remember that's going to be at the very
I did
end.
not remember anything about that till you get there, and your legs, like right now, my legs feel so tired.
Yeah, that was pretty. I mean, you prepare for scratched knees, raw hands, and so wear gloves.
I would have some kind of
probably brought my hiking poles.
I think that they would have been in the way because you're scrambling down rocks and holding, do not have anything you have to hold your hands.
Maybe not.
Have a backpack and everything in that backpack. Even put your phones away if you want to film stuff like we've done, but put your phone away to climb up and down, obviously.
Yeah, because you'll smash your phone.
And I think we counted 8 or 9 ropes
I think there's
that they've put in
ropes
to help you get down.
You'd think that it would be harder going back up.
I feel like it was so much easier.
I think it was easier. The first rope is if you're not a climber, and
the first rope going down for us, we've never done this before with ropes, felt really scary, and then coming back up it was like, oh my god, that was the easiest one, totally. But going down, and if you've never used ropes, never done rappelling, you don't really know what form to have, so you're kind of almost winging it.
Definitely
the first time.
Be prepared. You need to have something for your hiking shoes for sure.
Have good shoes that have some grip.
You're gonna get wet. Your feet are gonna get wet if you don't have waterproof shoes.
That's closer to the bottom anyways.
You're going to, because part of the trail you walk through the river. I mean, it's not a river, it's a stream.
But Colorado River is what's at the bottom. Like I said, we did not get to all the way at the bottom. We stopped at the hot springs. There's 2 little hot springs before you actually take a little bit further, go down a little further, and then there is the little waterfalls, and we stopped there probably right around the bend, but we just weren't sure enough that we wanted to keep going, and we're ready to eat anyways, and
we talked to someone that said the current was pretty strong.
Yeah, and the current, you wouldn't have been able to get in the Colorado River because the current was very strong. And just FYI, they do close that trail from May 15th till September 30th, it says at the post, at the trailhead.
Yeah, it would be way too hot.
There's there were certain parts where you guys were both looking at me and saying, your face is so red on the hike back up.
There's definitely, because of the turns and the switchback, you can have rest areas for shade.
For shade, yeah.
So take advantage of those for sure.
Especially way up after you've, done all that hiking and stuff. Definitely take those breaks. Pack plenty more water than you think you're going to need. We saw, when we got there was a gentleman just not really looking any prepared at all, and 1 water bottle. A regular, 16 ounce or whatever, those are 12 ounce water bottle.
More than that.
For a 4-hour hike and that much heat and that much, exertion, please take more water. People die on hikes because they don't go prepared. I guess they're driving and they pull off, see a sign, let's do this hike. You can take the chance, but I wouldn't. But overall, I just think this was a really, really good hike.
If you're one of those people that do that, then be like us. We have people like that. We carry our backpacks. I have
keep it in your car, yeah, for sure. But definitely a 10 out of a 10 hike. I feel it was just, I'm super proud of all of us, all 3 of us.
That was a great trip. You did a good job. That was your hardest.
It kicked ass, but man, we did it. I didn't really know how I was going to feel at the ropes. And if I was going to be okay getting down, and then as we got down all of them, I'm like, oh man, am I going to be able to get up these? And like we said, up is so much easier. And for me, the tactic and the what's the word? Skill,
Stand,
I don't know. The form I used was just leaning back and trusting all of my weight with that rope and letting like my legs do most of the work, because look at these arms. They don't have like they don't have a ton of strength. Like men tend to have more upper body strength, most usually. So I was like, I'm not gonna be able to like pull myself up a rope, like think gym class when you had to pull yourself up ropes. Like actually I never had to do that. That was already gone by the time I was in school. But I thought there's no way I'm gonna pull myself up these rocks, but I didn't have to. I leaned back, held the rope this way, and used my legs to like climb up rocks. So hopefully if you got good leg strength, you'll be fine. But overall,
I still
really
say 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, really good hike. 10 out of 10, we definitely recommend.
Difficulty. I mean, don't bring your dog, don't bring your children.
Do not take dogs, like unless you plan on putting them on your back or they're carried in some kind of a carrier on your back.
And that's probably going to be really difficult.
But there are narrow parts of like when you're on the ropes or just hiking and going down between rocks, there are really narrow portions. So having anybody on your back, kid or animal, doesn't.
People have marked the trail. It's pretty well used, so it's not hard if you get off
there was a couple points where we're like, oh, which way do we actually go? But then when we looked around more, we would find spray painted arrows on the rocks.
It's pretty much all the trails. So you can go anywhere you can actually climb, you can go. So
as long as like, you know, and be careful, because it could be slippery, and there are parts that just the rocks are really smooth, or your feet are a little bit damp, especially as you're getting closer to the bottom with the river. Just take it slow. That was kind of what I said on the way back up was, I don't care how slow I feel like I'm going. This is when I need to be the most careful going back up, because my legs are tired and weak and I'm overheated, and the smallest like twist your ankle and someone's now going to carry you or help you up the whole stink away. So overall it took us about 4 hours. About an hour and a half to 2 hours in.
I think we spent about 30 minutes to 45 minutes down
you
there.
guys say it wasn't too long down at the bottom.
You said an hour, but I don't think it was an hour.
So I texted someone just to let them know that we were heading in about 10:40, I'm sorry. And we were in the car back by like 2:40. So that was all of it. Now granted, we could have gone a little bit farther to the river, but didn't. So maybe if you want to add a couple more minutes to that. But anyways, we're heading home, dropped off the boy at his house, and we are heading to go in the pool and relax. So hopefully one day you'll get to try GoldStrike Hot Springs. There we go. Hopefully you got to try that, and definitely be prepared. Till next time.
Be evolving, people.